Okay, so you want to own a gym, rent a big room, fill it with iron, and let the membership stack up while people sweat. Look at any gym at 6 p.m. Every machine taken. A line at the squat rack. It looks like the easiest money in fitness. Here's the problem. That crowded hour is the 1 hour the business lies to you. A gym does not sell fitness. A gym sells promises. And it earns the most when people break them. Start with the door money. Most new gym owners need somewhere between $150,000 and $500,000 all in. A full-service mid-sized gym typically lands between $300,000 and $600,000. A big commercial club? Past $1 million. And before any of that, the landlord wants months of rent as a deposit for an empty concrete box that cannot legally hold a single sweating human yet. Turning that box into a gym is where budgets die. Rubber flooring that can eat a dropped barbell, $3 to $15 a square foot. Call it $10,000 to $40,000 for the floor. Locker rooms and showers mean plumbing, tile, and code inspections. $10,000 to $50,000 more. Mirrors, $500 to $1,500 per panel. And then the part nobody budgets. Air. The ventilation standard behind most building codes demands about 20 cubic feet of fresh air per minute per person. A floor built for 100 people needs over 2,000 cubic feet every minute. That is not a fan. That is an industrial system, and it costs $10,000 to $50,000. Now the iron. A commercial treadmill runs $2,000 to $8,000, and you need 4 to 12 of them. Strength machines, $1,000 to $5,000 each, used to new, and a real floor carries 12 to 20. Racks, benches, dumbbells, plates. A useful rule of thumb is $25 per square foot. For a typical mid-sized gym, the equipment bill lands between $60,000 and $150,000. Buy everything new and premium, and you can blow past $300,000. Can't pay cash? The financing brochure smiles at you. 6 to 20% a year, depending on your credit. But read the line under the interest rate. The personal guarantee. If the gym fails, the lender repossesses the equipment, sells it for pennies, and then comes after you personally for the difference. The treadmills can leave the building. The debt follows you home. Location is not about traffic. It is about a circle. The industry's rule of thumb says about 80% of your members will come from within a 10 to 15-minute drive. That circle is your entire market. Nothing outside it matters. Inside it, the rent question gets brutal. National retail space averages in the low 20s per square foot per year. Urban corners run 25 to over 100. Pick a cheap circle that cannot afford your prices, or an expensive circle you cannot afford. Choose wrong, and no amount of dumbbells saves you. Now the part that looks like a gold mine. Membership pricing, budget clubs charge $10 to $25 a month. Mid-tier, $30 to $70. Boutique studios, $100 to $300 plus. The American average sits around $60 a month, and the market is enormous. A record 77 million Americans hold a gym membership, 1 in 4 people. Multiply that out and you can smell the money. So can everyone else. Which is exactly why the real game is not signing members up. It is what happens after they sign. Here's the thought experiment that explains the whole business. Airlines sell more seats than the plane holds, betting some passengers never board. A gym is that bet taken to an extreme. A budget club can carry 5,000 to 8,000 members, but under building code, an equipment floor is rated at roughly 1 person per 50 square feet. A 15,000 square foot gym legally holds about 300 people, 300 out of 7,000. The business only works because most ticket holders never board. Estimates say 60 to 80% of members rarely or never come. And the member who never comes pays the same $60 while using no water, no towels, no machines. The empty seat is the profit. This machine has a season, January. Around 12% of the entire year's signups arrive in not 1 month, carried in on resolutions. Then the melt begins. By some estimates, 80% of those January joiners are gone within 5 months. Half of all new members stop attending within 6. And across the whole industry, gyms lose roughly a third of their members every single year. Run a 500-member gym, and you must replace over 150 people a year just to stand still. That is not growth. That is a treadmill. So let's do the survival math out loud. A mid-sized gym carries roughly $25,000 to $35,000 a month in fixed costs. Rent, payroll, equipment payments, utilities, insurance, software. At $50 to $90 of revenue per member, You need somewhere between 300 and 500 members just to break even. Below that line, every month drains your savings. And most new gyms take a year or more, often 12 to 18 months to climb over it. That is the runway. If your reserve runs out first, the crowded 6 p.m. floor will not save you. There are 2 escape hatches. The first is personal training. Sessions run $50 to $100, but the trainer keeps 30 to 50%, and one coach can only sell so many hours. The trick is small groups. 4 clients at $40 each turns 1 hour into $160. The second hatch is a franchise. A famous purple brand charges a $20,000 fee, a 7% royalty, and demands a build-out of $2.5 to $5 million. The sign on your door fills the room faster. It also takes a bite of every dollar forever. And if you think scale makes you safe, remember the summer of 2020. In June, 24 Hour Fitness filed for bankruptcy, carrying around $1.4 billion of debt, and announced over 100 permanent club closures. It survived, but its lenders took the keys. 3 months later, Town Sports International, the parent of New York sports clubs, followed, listing up to $1 billion in liabilities. And here is the twist. Its $200 million loan problem existed before the pandemic ever hit. The lockdowns did not create the disease. They exposed it. A full parking lot means nothing if the balance sheet underneath is hollow. Now run your gym through 2 different years. The good year. You hit 400 members by month 10. Churn stays low. January's wave sticks around. Personal training fills the afternoons, and the gym clears a comfortable 6 figures for you. The realistic year. A budget chain opens 2 miles away at $19 a month. Churn runs at the high end. The air system dies in July, and the January windfall you spend like a salary turns out to be a spike, not a floor. Same gym, same street. The difference between those 2 years can easily top $100,000, and none of it announces itself in advance. So, should you open a gym? If you can survive 18 months of losses, keep a machine full of strangers coming back, and resist spending January like it lasts forever, a gym can genuinely pay you well. Just be honest about the product. You are not selling barbells or classes or even sweat. You are selling a promise people make to themselves, and the house always knows which promises get kept.